The chair was cold, colder than I expected. It was a black leather chair, the kind they have at the hair salon. But this wasn't a hair salon, it was a jewellery store. And I wasn't here for a haircut. I was here to get my ears pierced again. My mum sat next to me, her hand resting on my knee. She squeezed gently, her way of saying, "It's okay to be nervous." I smiled back, trying to be brave, but butterflies fluttered in my stomach. This wasn't like getting my ears pierced the first time. This felt different, bigger, scarier. Across from us sat my aunt and her daughter, my cousin Maria. Maria was 2 years older than me, and she already had double piercings in each ear. Tiny gold hoops glinted under her long dark hair. I tried to picture myself with earrings like that. It was exciting and terrifying all at once. The jewellery store was bustling with activity. People were everywhere, browsing through glass displays filled with sparkling treasures. But my world had shrunk down to the size of our little group. My mum, my aunt, Maria and me. We were a team here to navigate this momentous occasion together. My aunt, always the stylish one, kept up a steady stream of chatter. She talked about the best earrings for second piercings, the importance of proper care and how grown up I would look with 2 holes in each ear. My mum, quieter and more practical, nodded along, occasionally interjecting with a question or a reassuring glance in my direction. Maria, usually full of playful energy, was surprisingly subdued. She sat quietly, flipping through a magazine, her eyes occasionally flicking up to meet mine. I thought I detected a flicker of sympathy in their depths. Maybe she remembered her own second piercings, the pinch, the sting, the strange feeling of something new and unfamiliar. As we waited for the piercer, a wave of doubt washed over me. Did I really want to do this? Getting my ears pierced the first time had been my idea. I had begged and pleaded with my parents for months until they finally agreed. But this time, it felt different. This time, the desire wasn't coming from inside me. It felt like I was being pushed gently but firmly toward a decision that wasn't entirely my own. My aunt's voice, filled with excitement and anticipation, seemed to echo in my ears. "Just think, honey, you'll be able to wear all sorts of earrings. Hoops, dangles, studs. The possibilities are endless." Her words, meant to entice, only fueled my growing unease. Did I really care about wearing different earrings? Was it worth enduring the pain, the discomfort, the strange feeling of having my body altered in this way? The piercer, a woman with kind eyes and a warm smile, appeared. She held a small silver gun in her hand, the tool of her trade. My heart thumped against my ribs, a drumbeat of apprehension. I tried to swallow, but my throat was dry. I wanted to say something, to voice the doubt swirling inside me, but the words wouldn't come. I was trapped in a current of expectations, swept along toward a destination I wasn't sure I wanted to reach. The first piercing was a blur. 1 minute my earlobe was untouched, the next there was a sharp, stinging pain, and then a dull ache that settled in its wake. I flinched, my eyes watering involuntarily. My mum rubbed my back soothingly, her touch a familiar comfort in the midst of this strange, unsettling experience. But then, before I could fully register what was happening, the piercer moved to my other ear. "Double piercing, right?" she asked, her voice bright and cheerful. I wanted to scream, "No, stop!" but the words remained trapped in my throat. My aunt, beaming with pride, nodded enthusiastically. "That's right, double piercings. She's going to look so grown up." The second piercing felt even sharper, even more intense than the first. Tears welled up in my eyes, hot and prickling. I bit my lip, determined not to cry. This wasn't how it was supposed to be. This was supposed to be exciting, a rite of passage, a step towards womanhood. Instead, I felt like a fraud, like I was playing a part in a play I didn't audition for. Section 5. 2 holes too many. When it was finally over, I stared at my reflection in the mirror. 2 small gold studs glinting back at me from each earlobe. Strangers stared back. I didn't recognize them. Where was the confident, excited girl I had been just a few hours ago? In her place stood someone hesitant, unsure, weighed down by the weight of expectations. My aunt clapped her hands together in delight. "Beautiful! They look absolutely perfect on you," she exclaimed, her voice filled with genuine admiration. My mum smiled, relief washing over her features. "See, honey, it wasn't so bad, was it?" she said, squeezing my hand gently, but all I could focus on was the dull ache in my earlobes, a constant reminder of the decision that had been made for me, not by me. 2 holes in each ear. 2 holes too many. The thought echoed in my mind, a silent rebellion against the expectations that had led me to this point. Section 6. Healing and Acceptance. The days that followed were a blur of antiseptic and cotton balls. My mum, ever the diligent caretaker, made sure I cleaned my piercings religiously, following the piercer's instructions to the letter. The sharp pain subsided, replaced by a dull ache that lingered like an uninvited guest. I tried not to touch my ears, to pretend the new additions weren't there, but the earrings, small and gold, were a constant presence, a visual reminder of the decision that continued to sit uneasily within me. I caught myself staring at them in the mirror, trying to decipher the emotions they evoked. Confusion, resentment, a strange flicker of acceptance, like a tiny sprout pushing its way through the cracks of my resistance. As the days turned into weeks, the ache in my earlobes faded, replaced by a dull tenderness. I found myself, almost unconsciously, running my fingers over the tiny studs, feeling their smooth, cool surface against my skin. The act, once filled with apprehension, now carried a hint of curiosity, even a strange sort of ownership. These earrings, once symbols of external expectations, were slowly becoming a part of me, their presence etched onto the canvas of my evolving identity. Section 7. Reflections in the mirror. One morning, as I was getting ready for school, I paused in front of the mirror, my gaze drawn, as if by a magnet, to my ears. The gold studs, no longer unfamiliar strangers, winked back at me, and for the first time I didn't flinch. I didn't look away. I looked, really looked. The earrings, small and delicate, seemed to blend seamlessly with my features, as if they had always been a part of me. The girl staring back at me from the mirror wasn't the confused, resentful girl who had sat in the piercer's chair just a few weeks ago. This girl looked different. Older, maybe. More confident, definitely. A slow smile spread across my face, unbidden and genuine. I liked what I saw in the mirror, not because of the earrings themselves, but because of what they represented. A willingness to try something new, even if it wasn't initially my idea. A resilience in the face of discomfort and uncertainty. A growing awareness that change, even when unexpected, could sometimes lead to surprising discoveries about myself. Section 8. Shifting Perspectives. The world, it seemed, didn't end because I had 2 holes in each ear. In fact, it kept spinning just as it always had. The sun rose and set, the seasons changed, and life in all its messy, unpredictable glory went on. And somewhere in the midst of it all, my perspective shifted, subtly but significantly. My aunt's excitement over my double piercings, once a source of resentment, now evoked a sense of amusement. Her enthusiasm, though sometimes overwhelming, stemmed from a place of love and a desire to see me embrace the joys of womanhood. My mum's quiet support, once taken for granted, now filled me with gratitude. Her ability to balance her own opinions with my need for autonomy was a delicate dance that I was only beginning to appreciate. Even Maria, my usually boisterous cousin, seemed to view me with a newfound respect. We were no longer just cousins, separated by age and experience. We were, in a strange and unspoken way, fellow travelers on the path to womanhood, each carrying our own stories, our own anxieties, our own triumphs. Section 9. Embracing the Unexpected. Life, as I was quickly learning, was full of unexpected twists and turns. It rarely unfolded according to plan. Sometimes it threw curveballs that left you feeling off balance, unsure of which way to turn. But it was in those moments of uncertainty, of being pushed outside my comfort zone, that I discovered a strength and resilience I never knew I possessed. The double piercing, once a symbol of external expectations and internal conflict, had become an unexpected catalyst for growth. It had forced me to confront my own anxieties, to navigate the complexities of family dynamics, and to embrace the ever-evolving tapestry of my own identity. The world, it seemed, was full of possibilities waiting to be explored, and I, armed with a newfound sense of self-awareness and a willingness to embrace the unknown, was ready to meet them head-on. Section 10. A new sparkle. I ran my fingers over my earlobes, feeling the smooth ridges of my double piercings. They were a part of me now, a tangible reminder of a journey that had been both challenging and transformative. Looking back, I realized that the most valuable lessons were often learned not through grand gestures, but through the seemingly insignificant moments that make up the fabric of our lives. A pair of earrings, once a source of so much turmoil, had become a symbol of self-discovery and acceptance. They were a testament to the fact that growth often came from the most unexpected places, if only we were open to embracing the journey. And as I turned away from the mirror, a new kind of sparkle, one that emanated not from the gold studs in my ears, but from the quiet confidence blooming within me, illuminated my reflection.